Last time on the Quarry, we basically found out what's going on, which is that Chris Hackett, who owns the summer camp at Hackett's Quarry, is secretly a werewolf, and Laura, the girl from the beginning, her and her boyfriend Max, who I did try to get killed, tragically that didn't work, were locked up by Chris Hackett's brother, the sheriff, because Max was bitten and turned into a werewolf. And Laura believes she's discovered that if she kills Chris Hackett, the person who bit Max, then that should break the werewolf curse. She's got a sexy eye patch and some silver bullets now to get the job done, because her lesbian transformation is complete. All we need is to get her boyfriend killed somehow. And she has met the rest of the group and relayed that information to the group. Nick and Abby, I got them on pretty bad terms, but I don't know if I've broken them up just yet. Nick is a werewolf now, though, which is hilarious. I think that Jacob has been bitten, so I think that he may turn into a werewolf. I've been trying really hard to kill these guys, but none of them are dead yet. I think maybe I'm too good at games, which is not something I thought I'd ever say. So I've been trying to get Nick killed, he's not dead yet. I've been trying to get Jacob killed, he's not dead yet. To be fair, I've been trying to keep Ryan alive. Dylan's still kicking, he's down a hand, because apparently if you amputate the limb, then the limb that the werewolf bit, then that will stop the, I don't know, werewolf contagion from spreading, and it will stop you from becoming a werewolf. So there's that. Yeah, I think Ryan and Dylan are doing okay, besides from the loss of a hand. The girls are all doing okay. None of the girls have been bitten and none of them are dead. So that's where we're at the moment. I've been failing pretty spectacularly at my mission of trying to get the guys killed, but a few of them have been bitten and one of them did have his hand amputated, so I guess at least they're more so on the receiving end of all the violence. It's not enough for me though. Hi, Lost and Fairy. Yeah, should be about 3 hours. Okay, great, yeah, so that's plenty of material for tonight's stream. Hopefully we'll be able to finish the game tonight. Debrief about it. So yeah, that's where the story is at. I'm trying to remember exactly how chapter 7 ended, because there was some kind of cliffhanger, but I don't remember what it was. We'll see. Before I get into the stream today, quick housekeeping as usual. We're still raising money for medical aid for Palestinians, as always. And if you're wanting to donate, you know, maybe payday just arrived. It did for me a couple of days ago. !Palestine in the chat will bring up the link to the fundraiser. We appreciate everything that you can spare. I think... Hold on, let me check. The numbers are looking pretty small on my screen at the moment. Okay, we're at £1,765 at the moment, which is great. Our goal is £2,000, so about £235 away from our goal, which is not too bad, right? I feel like a few donations per stream could get us there. That would be great. If you aren't able to afford donating right now, that's totally fine, but we would appreciate you sharing the link and letting people know. And as always, if you want to learn more about how to get involved in the Boycott, Divestment, Sanctions campaign, you can type in !BDS in the chat. That will also bring up the Decolonize Palestine link, where you can learn more about the Palestinian struggle and Palestinian history. As usual as well, I will not get the little ding sound if someone donates, so I would really appreciate someone in the chat letting me know if you see that little animation of Hatsune Miku running on screen to deliver medical aid. And I will do a shout out and thank people for their donations. Um, okay, great. I think that's everything from me. Another no face cam stream because I'm feeling like a goblin. And you guys don't want to see my bedroom. I'll clean it eventually, and we can be back to normal. But now is not the time because I've been isolating with COVID and living like a creature. Okay, cool. Let's go. Ryan, chapter 8. There are 10 chapters, so we've got about 3 chapters left. Let's go. Yes, I would like to load this save, please. Alright. Chapter 8, Out for Blood.
Where is Chris Hackett?
Shut up.
Yeah.
God, she murdered Kaylee.
What?
We've been
But
over this.
come on. It was self-defense. I'm going to ask Caitlin what to do.
Caitlin? What do I do?
Oh, wow. Real strong showing on the leadership front.
Laura doesn't respect you.
No way. I am not getting involved. This is all you, buddy. Look, just think about everything that's happened tonight, okay? That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't respect that either. Totally fair enough, Laura. I mean, I'm gonna try and essentially back Laura in this situation, show my trust to Laura as much as I can. So, you said you heard a
Hold on,
woman?
You said you heard a woman crying when you escaped?
Why? What do you know? It's the ghost story he told us about, right, Caitlin?
Oh, hey, Abby.
This isn't a ghost story. It's a creature feature. It's really happening, and you're all in it.
Oh, I love it when it gets meta.
Your bracelet.
Kiss. I know we just met, but she needs to realize she's a lesbian, so just kiss her. Not gonna be aggressive.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to help. Worst case scenario, this should give you a fighting chance.
God, why wouldn't you guys
And this will kill them? For good?
trust the sexy eye patch lesbian?
But what if it's Nick or someone? Like I said, worst case scenario.
We're gonna fucking kill Nick.
Ryan, put that fucking thing down before you hurt someone.
Or best case scenario, exactly what I was thinking. And I'm thinking maybe if
So,
Jacob is a werewolf, like
come on.
maybe I can
Where does
kill
Chris
him.
Hackett live?
Fingers crossed,
When
we'll
he's
see.
not at camp, I mean.
Like, sorry she's wearing an eye patch. How is she not on her knees kissing her feet right now? I know! How? These people are insane. These people are insane. And I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to make this the gayest and the meanest playthrough that I can. I'm trying so hard. And they're making it so difficult for me. Guarded.
What makes you think I know that?
You guys are counselors, right? You've spent the last 2 months here? He's not in the storm shelter. I'm clearly getting nowhere hunting him in the
Wait,
woods.
2
I
months?
need a place to start.
Hold on a second. 2 months. Did she say 2 months? Because the full moon happens every month. So how is... I thought it was like she arrived a day early, which is why she got the full moon werewolf transformation situation. And then the camp takes place over slightly less than a month, so it doesn't coincide with the werewolf transformation. How is the camp 2 months? Anyway, this is not the most important thing. It's fine. We'll think about it later. That blood does look like a sensory nightmare. I think I was saying kind of last stream that, like, okay, we're going to pay attention to this now because I guess we are. That a lot of the kind of character models with the blood splatters. Like, these people have a bunch of blood splattered on them and it remains very bright and very shiny and very wet. But you would expect that it would, like, get dark and crusty. And it's a bit funny sometimes when the light kind of reflects off of their shiny, bloodied faces. Also, they're in a bathroom. They could take a second to wash off, right? But now that you've mentioned it, I feel like I would be thinking a lot about... now I'm thinking a lot about how much of a sensory nightmare that would be. The camp... They arrived in June and the camp ends in August. Yeah, but that could be 1 month depending on the dates, right? That means one of the full moons happened during the camp. But how did they cover that up? Like, how did they cover that up? You know what I'm saying? And why the fuck is Chris putting children at risk when he's a literal werewolf? Laura was supportive of Max during their imprisonment. No, I didn't want to support Max. Ugh. I'm failing. I'm trying so hard to be a mean lesbian, and this game is making it so difficult for me. Okay. Sorry, recapping on some of our paths and the, like, consequences that have happened. Laura lied to the cop about the accident on the road. She tried to make a grab for Travis's gun, and she shot Travis. Yeah, I killed him, because he's a fucking cop. Shot Nick in the pool house. Abby offered Laura her bracelet to fashion into a silver bullet. Okay, I'm thinking that hopefully I can kill Nick. Laura shot Travis when escaping her cell. Okay, that's the start of a new series of paths. I feel that we still haven't really found out how Harem Scarum, the freak show, fits into all of this, so that will be fascinating to find out. The previous sheriff was killed in the fire 6 years ago, so presumably this belonged to him. Travis must have succeeded him. Okay. The Harem Scarum fire. A faded camp photographed in the 1970s. C. Hackett and T. Hackett, Chris and Travis. They're brothers. Yep. Chackett and Thackett. I don't know why those have exclamation marks when I don't seem to have found anything. Counselor's ledger. Laura and Max were kidnapped by Travis, and Chris tried to hide it by not reporting that they didn't show for camp. God, these people are terrible. The Hacketts are actually fucking terrible. Like, what the fuck? This drawing matches the letter found at the fire pit. Kids have the scariest imaginations. Well, what's been going on has been pretty fucking scary. I mean, this makes sense now, right? Because these kids were unwittingly going to a fucking, like, summer camp which was run by a fucking werewolf, and their lives were at risk the whole time. Fucking insane. I kind of can't believe it. That's the main thing I kind of can't wrap my head around, because I felt like they were trying to characterize Chris and Travis as being sort of, like, sympathetic, like, doomed, sympathetic monster types who are trying their best not to hurt people. But I'm just thinking that they're assholes. That's where I'm at. No, I mean for Chris and Travis. I do have some sympathy for the teenagers, but not for Chris and Travis. Fuck those guys. Oh, I think that being mean to Travis might have translated as supporting Max. I think that's stupid and annoying, and I hate it. You're not gonna get that lore because you shot Travis. Which lore am I not gonna get? Well, I guess that's a spoiler if people want to play it again, but... Anyway, sorry. Let's get back to the action.
Behind these woods.
Dude!
What?
It's okay, we'll finish the game and then maybe we can chat about some of that stuff, like alternate paths. If I want to kill him, and I don't really have an option to express that I want to kill him, so I guess the next best thing is being sarcastic.
Have you thought about, you know, not killing him?
I'm thinking about not killing you.
What?
Look, when the sun comes up, I am stuck until the next full moon. So is Max, so is anyone else he's bitten.
How is that our problem?
Why don't you ask your friends in the woods?
The stuff about the Hackett's Quarry. Oh, I'm not gonna find out about that? Oh, that sucks. It's okay, I could play this game again. It's fun. I'm having a fun time. I haven't seen any of this playthrough, but I watched like 4 different playthroughs around the time the game came out. Gotcha. I think mostly I've been behaving in a very chaotic manner. I've recapped on some of the paths that I've taken so far. Mostly I've just been trying to break up the straight couples and get the guys killed, but I'm not doing a very good job of that. So, like, I left Max to die, and then I was trying to get them to break up, but that failed, unfortunately. I shot Travis, because he's a cop. I keep failing to get Jacob killed. I hate Jacob. I keep trying to get Abby and Nick to break up, but still hasn't happened. Emma is in her bad bitch era. Good for her. The gays, Dylan and Ryan, are doing okay, but Dylan is missing a hand. Okay, you know what? Actually, I feel kind of like maybe I'm on the path to sabotaging Nick and Abby. Fingers crossed. And what do we got? Jacob's been captured by the hunters, so I think he's gonna turn into a werewolf or something. Yeah, that's about where we're at in terms of the summary of my playthrough.
Forget about Nick, dude. Okay, any closer one of this for you two with cold water. Ryan, let's just get out of here.
I'm running out of time. If I can't find Chris Hackett, then a lot more people are going to get hurt.
Babe, I'm with you.
I'm going with you.
What?
None of these bitches have what
yeah,
it takes
what
to get on their knees and kiss her feet, but I do. These options are kind of annoying me because it feels like I don't have loads of scope to. It feels like I don't actually have loads of scope to respond differently to this situation because I'm so down for killing Chris. I think he's a threat to everyone around him and also children. And again, I've been trying really hard to get some deaths in this playthrough and it's just not happened. But I don't want to be mean to Laura, so...
I'm gonna show you that Chris Hackett has nothing to do with this. He wanted us to stay inside tonight. He wanted us safe.
I don't care what you think.
I don't care what you think.
Oh, I love her.
Shut up. Fine, do whatever you want.
Girl, I'm on your side. How do I take her side?
He was bitten.
Everything's gonna be fine. That cop car you stole, where is it?
Ditched in the lake.
Why?
It was a stolen
You're gonna have to try and fix the minivan. Get somewhere safe. How long do you have?
An hour or two? I don't know. It doesn't seem like an exact science.
Then we better get going.
I want to kill some werewolves, man. I'm out for blood. By the time this game is over, I need to have caused some fucking
Are
chaos.
you sure this is the right way?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Pretty or definitely?
What do I look like, a tour guide?
Oh, POV, a gay man and a lesbian who were enemies are hunting down a werewolf together. This is the stuff. This is the good shit. This is what I live for.
Have you actually been there before?
I mean, no.
Wait, seriously?
I know as much as you do.
Well, she knows more than you do, let's be real. Let's be real about it.
How well do you know Chris Hackett?
Mr. H, pretty well.
Like you're pretty sure we're going the right way?
When I first came to camp, I was going through some personal shit, and Mr. H helped me sort it out. He's a good guy. You don't know him like I do. You don't know him at all.
Okay, jeez. Teacher's pet.
Why are you like this?
Because she's better than all of you. She's like this because she's the only real bitch in this camp. In this quarry, one might say. Fuck it, yeah. Provoke. I'll provoke him, why not?
The same thing.
What do you mean?
Why are you really here?
I can't let you just shoot him.
I'm not going to. I'm going to shoot a werewolf, which he definitely is, by the way.
Not.
Is
Ryan,
true.
you idiot. He's absolutely a werewolf.
Jesus.
He's absolutely a werewolf, and we absolutely have to shoot him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that he helped you with your college applications, but can we have some perspective?
There it is. Hackett House.
So he lives in some redneck mansion with his redneck family in the ass crack of the woods? Look at this place.
No, but where his mom lives, I think. Never been there.
Oh my god, is
You're
that
looking
old
for
creepy
answers.
lady his mum?
Probably the best place to start.
So, wait, how do we get there?
What do you mean?
How do we get to the house?
That's a really good question. Maybe we just don't.
Yeah, I mean, if I was being serious, if I was being a bit more serious, then obviously I would say that I understand why he feels that way. But also, yeah, at some point you gotta face reality. I'm very sorry, but your friend is a werewolf, and there's not a lot of things we can do about it.
Look, I understand Chris is your friend.
If there was another way, I'd tell you.
Sure.
Yeah. Laura, Chris is a good man.
Ultimately,
This
I
isn't
don't know
about
if it...
good and
Yeah,
evil,
I don't,
Ryan.
it just
How can you
doesn't...
be so certain.
I let my conscience
Because
slow
she
down
fucking
now,
saw her
everything gets a
boyfriend
lot
turn
worse
into a
for
fucking
everyone.
werewolf,
Believe me,
and he
another
scratched
way,
her fucking
I'm
eye
up
out,
for it.
and that's why she has a sexy eye patch. Come on, dude.
Hey, where are you going?
You're on a timer, remember? Must be another way across somewhere.
I got you.
Careful, it's gonna go.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh shit! Are you okay?
Oh god, it's giving me Until Dawn vibes.
Laura?
It stalks your breath but shuns clear water.
Oh my god, Laura.
Well, how clear is the
Jesus.
water?
Marion, jazz hands.
I don't know if it's clear water, you know.
Here's a gun.
Oh my god, her eye color
you
has
doing?
changed.
Relax. Look.
What? Oh my god, is she a werewolf now?
The guys you have, Grandma.
No shit.
Well, okay,
see
well
your
now
life
it's time
in
for
the
me to be a hypocrite, you know.
Define yellow.
Which is to say that I want to kill Chris, but not Laura.
Not much time.
Which I think is fine because... Also, rest in peace, the sexy eye patch. Because the lore is that they just need to kill the person who bit them and then everyone will be a human again, right? But... Yeah, I'm very anti the loss of the eye patch. Sorry. Sorry, I mean, I guess your cool werewolf eyes are cool too, but...
This must be part of the old working quarry.
Makes sense.
Okay, do we have a labor rights related plotline as well? Miner's lunchbox. The forgotten belongings of a quarry miner abandoned in the tunnels. A letter of foreclosure within indicates that this has been down here since the 1930s. Is there a way that I can read it? Or no? I guess not. Police car keys. Laura stole the police car to escape and ditched it in the lake. She must have left the keys on the island along with Max. Yep. Okay. Gonna keep an eye out for some tarot cards again. It always comes down to some kind of labor dispute. Some miners getting fucked over by some corporate overlords. Life is Strange True Colors. Night in the Woods. And I mean, it is called the Quarry, so I guess it makes a lot of sense that it would have some kind of history like that.
These must have been from the quarry days.
Old quarry tools. These rusty old tools are leftovers from the Hackett's industrial heyday before the mine foreclosure. So the Hackett family is some kind of like... there's some kind of like family that owns the land and used to own a quarry and have miners that worked in the quarry. And now they're kind of like still this rich old family that own the land, because that's also giving me bad vibes. And you know, that it feels that I have more reasons to kill Chris Hackett right now, but it also feels that Chris Hackett being a werewolf and his brother being a shitty fucking cop is like... It's feeling like it all might be a metaphor. I feel like there's some metaphorical, allegorical stuff going down right now.
No doubt.
We'll chew on it.
No one's been down here for years.
I mean, I do love it when horror is like, even this ham-fistedly, like a metaphor for capitalism and the evils therein. Also, where the fuck does she get the sleigh outfit? I know that sometimes we just shouldn't ask too many questions. We should just not look a gift horse in the mouth, but... Such a bad bitch outfit. Historically, you can trust definitely companies and the way they will always prioritize the safety of their workers. You're absolutely right, Casper apologist. You're absolutely right.
Did you hear that too?
It's her.
Who?
The hag of Hackett's Quarry. It's like she's warning
Okay,
us
so
all.
this motherfucker doesn't believe the werewolf story, but he does believe in the hag of Hackett's Quarry. Like, come on, dude. It's interesting because werewolves as monsters usually represent a community or collective, whereas vampires are usually the capitalist overlords. That's interesting. Again, I said this in the last stream. I don't really know that much about werewolf lore. We talked a bit about how werewolves, I mean, monsters, like, in general, tend to represent, like, what... I mean, monsters, they tend to be very, like, historically and politically specific, right? And they represent fears that are specific to a certain context. Like, vampires, I talk about this in my video essay about Vampire, which... !YouTube in the chat will pull up our YouTube channel. But I talk about how vampires are kind of like a floating signifier in a lot of ways because they do represent fears about like queer sexuality and female sexuality and Jewish people and other kinds of marginalized groups, but then also at the same time they also like can be interpreted as representing like aristocratic or capitalist overlords, and so they're quite like a fraught image in that way, and it really depends a lot on the vampire media as to how that's like approached or interpreted. I'm currently working on a video about zombies and all of the things that zombies can represent and how games deal with that as well. But werewolves, it's a knowledge weak spot. But it's great to be learning more about werewolves during this playthrough. It's very interesting stuff. I really want to learn more about that now. Because in the last stream we talked a bit about the werewolf representing like fear of like the menstrual cycle. So being very kind of like misogynistic towards obviously cisgender women in that way.
Shit.
But I'm curious about what you're saying about how werewolves are usually represented as like communities and stuff, because I don't know much about that.
This place is.
So if you have any more knowledge to share, then
I mean, if the code is literally crumbling to the ground,
that would be
then I think
amazing.
it's doing fine.
Let's just keep moving.
Yeah.
Literally a gay man and a lesbian. This is me and Dean if we were in a horror movie. What's happening right now? Dean isn't here, but you can tell him that I said that. Oh, the lovers. Okay. Let's view. The lovers, there's harmony and disagreement brought to light only by sparks of passion. Blood flows from the heart, you can almost taste it, and tasting it could save someone's life. Who's that on the card? Interestingly, I feel that there's some like vampiric imagery going on there. I mean, it could be like a werewolf bite happening, but also, I don't know. I don't necessarily know who those people are on the cards, because I feel like it could be Ryan, because we don't have any other black male characters in this game, right? And then one of the many white girls, potentially Emma or Laura, but I'm very confused by that. I guess we'll see, but I will say fuck this particular part of the game because the implications come out of nowhere. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Just look at this place.
Oh my god, are they gonna make Ryan and Laura have some kind of vibe? Because that's so... No, this is a gay man and a lesbian. What are you talking about? Stop! Are they really doing this? No way.
Right about now.
Stop being weird.
I hate it. Laura x Ryan do not interact. Beard for beard. Beard for beard is what this is. That is what this is. This is a lavender marriage, if even that. But what it actually is a gay man and a lesbian hating each other. What the fuck? I love it when writers are like, we have a male character and we have a female character, and as we know, males and females together are heterosexuals. And just call it a day. That's writing. He was a girl, she was a boy.
Do you
Ooh.
think actually something is in here with us?
Either that or this route isn't as disused as we thought.
Scarred flesh. A lump of what appears to be damaged or scarred flesh. Okay. Sure. This is so insane.
Long way down.
I want to say I can't believe they would do this, but I can totally believe that they would do this. Cave in, do not enter.
Where's cave out?
Look who's finding their funny bone.
I hate this. As soon as they took off the eye patch, she stopped being in her lesbian era, according to the writers, and I fucking hate. Can we get the lesbian eye patch back, please?
The whole mysterious, brooding loner thing, it doesn't quite fit with the I love my camp leader vibe.
So I don't fit into the right box, is that what you're saying?
Oh my god. Is okay, so it's entirely possible that this character is bisexual, right? Part of the reason why I am unconvinced by that is because of how bad this romance writing is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, are they trying to write a character of a certain sexuality, or are they just really fucking bad at writing? Because I didn't necessarily want to assume that with the Caitlin and Ryan Dare situation, because Truth or Dare is a fucking stupid game that teenagers fucking play to, you know, find an indirect way to kiss people they like or whatever, which is fine, which is whatever. I'm not judging that, right? Like, teenagers are teenagers, it's fine. But what that means is that, you know, someone daring him to kiss either Caitlin or Dylan was not like necessarily indicative of what his sexuality was, and what he chooses in that situation also might not necessarily be indicative of what his sexuality is. I mean, I would think I would have to see what happens if he kisses Caitlin to make up my mind on that. But just in the sense that there are all sorts of reasons why he might make that decision. You know, maybe people don't know he's gay, so you'd be afraid to choose Dylan or something like that. Or that he likes boys, sorry. And to not, like, assume either way on that point, his sexuality. But consistently, there's only been a vibe between him and Dylan. Like, that's the only actual vibe that's happened and been even remotely convincing. And now this is happening, and it's like the most unconvincing writing ever. And sometimes I'm like, I know that straight people are just like terrible at writing romance. I know that. So it's hard to tell. So is this character bisexual, or is this just incredibly bad writing? Who's to say? Like, who's to say? And I mean that with regards to Ryan's sexuality. Laura, they keep trying to convince me that she's straight, and that's stupid. There's mods for games that make female characters prettier, quote unquote, by airbrushing them are useless. Give me an eye patch mod for this game. Absolutely. The lesbian beauty standard is that I want you to have a fucked up face with an eye missing and a sexy little eye patch. That's the lesbian beauty standard. And then there's the fact that when Dylan flirts with him, you even get the pop-up that says Ryan seems interested, and then this just comes out of nowhere. Yeah, no, it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like it seems that Inquisitive has... okay, so it seems that Inquisitive has a possibly flirtatious vibe, But what I was gonna say is this dialogue seems like it's implying something about bisexuality, like Ryan's possible bisexuality. Like, oh, are you trying to put me in a box? I don't fit in a box. I'm not like those lesbians and those gay men and those straight people who all fit into boxes, which, for the record, is something that I find mildly annoying. There is a better way to express that people should not assume that you're only gay or straight, and that people should remember that bisexuals exist and consider that you and your identity exist. That's fine, but there's a better way to express that that doesn't make it sound like lesbians and gay men existing are like we love putting ourselves in boxes. For the record, that's my take on that. I'm curious about this dialogue option, so...
And what box would that be?
Nothing. Forget it.
Do you always do that?
Do what?
Start to engage in a conversation and then just immediately recoil into your shell.
Maybe I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Oh, wow, charming. I am assuming you're single?
Yeah? Why?
No reason.
Okay.
This way. I see a light.
I don't understand what happened other than straight people being straight. Yeah, it's for real.
Or
Straight
you can just
people, like,
hang out here. Up
they
to
get...
you.
It's the way that they're so lazy about writing romance. Ticks me off.
Someone's been eating their spinach?
You gotta put the work in.
So, you want to go into the collapsing nightmare tunnel first, or shall I?
Yeah, my sexuality is not a box, it's my cozy little nest, and I've made myself quite at home here. That's a really nice way of putting it. I enjoy that for you. But also, like, that is not what lesbianism is. I mean, I can't speak to gay men, but I can speak to lesbians, and I know that myself and many other lesbians find this kind of rhetoric particularly annoying, because anyone who says that really just has no idea about lesbians and how what lesbianism is so much more expansive and complex than people give it any credit for being and understand it to be. Like, it's not a box. It's so expansive and complicated and means different things to different people. There are so many different kinds of lesbians. Lesbian is not a box, and it just ticks me off when people characterize it in that way. Wheel of Fortune! Oh my god, okay. I'm so glad that I've actually been finding the tarot cards. The Wheel of Fortune. After all, fortune is nothing but a spinning wheel. Sometimes you have to take a chance. Karma works in mysterious ways, but it favors those who pay attention. Watch closely. Though the wheel spins, the eagle-eyed can tell when it's gonna stop. Okay, so I guess the lovers is Ryan and Laura, which is really annoying. And I feel that I am seeing Ryan on Wheel of Fortune. And I'm like, is the lover's card going to give me some kind of premonition about how to get them to hook up? Because I really don't want them to hook up. I probably will pick Wheel of Fortune.
Looks promising.
God, everything just started going downhill when she lost the eye patch. So it goes. I feel that this outfit is like, what it's giving me is like if Buffy the Vampire, like this whole vibe is giving me like what Buffy the Vampire Slayer would be rocking in 2024, and I'm really enjoying it. It's on my list of life goals to recreate one of the early Buffy the Vampire Slayer looks where she's like in the leather jacket with the dress, because I mean she just has so many iconic looks, and like the crossbow.
Thanks. I'm fine.
Fashion icon.
Guess we found the party.
Alcohol from Prohibition. These are running tunnels.
That would make that liquor almost 100 years old. Probably still good.
Good. Try vintage. Well, I guess the Hacketts were bootleggers.
Makes sense. I guess when the Quarry shut down, they branched out.
Come on.
Right, so they used to make their capitalist money off of exploiting minors, and then they needed to find another business model, was what you were saying. But it's interesting because of the implication of like land ownership, like Hackett's Quarry. It's literally like named after the Hackett family.
You think this is it?
Beach
And slight, just short comment that land ownership is obviously like under capitalism, land ownership, private land ownership is like a huge problem in and of itself, because the idea that like people should privately own land, the idea that people can own land period is like fucked up, and obviously that necessitates like the policing of that, which means like, you know, violence towards various marginalized groups of people, including like travelers and houseless people. But also in the United States of America, the settler colony of the US, it's particularly fraught because the idea of like private white families and companies owning in like stolen indigenous fucking land like makes it even worse.
Just completely lost.
Yeah, me too.
Screwing over minors, close enough. Welcome back, Margaret Thatcher. And that is why we have to kill Chris Hackett, because Chris Hackett is Margaret Thatcher reincarnated. Okay, we're finally playing as Caitlin. I've been waiting this entire game to play as Brenda Song. One of my favorite Buffy outfits, I'm assuming, is honestly when she's wearing a tank top and flannel and sweatpants, like with combat boots. Yeah, I mean, such a lesbian slave for sure. I feel that Faith always dressed in a very lesbian way. I mean, I've never met a lesbian that wasn't obsessed with Faith. Including me when I was like 9 years old watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, not knowing I was a lesbian yet. Oh, she's just really pretty.
Nothing good. We've got to keep moving. It's not safe here.
Mr. H is gonna be pissed.
Look, honestly, if half of what Laura's saying is true, I really don't care what Mr. H says.
Thank you, Caitlin.
What do you think happened to Jacob and Emma?
Probably nothing. Hopefully.
I mean, should we go find them? Warn them?
I think the safest thing, the most responsible thing, is to try and get help.
From who?
And then we can come back for them.
And Nick.
And Nick.
No. They didn't even think about Nick. No, sorry, honey. We're shooting Nick if we see Nick.
Wait.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm Team Faith as a lesbian. Yeah, it's a popular headcanon. I've been meaning to do a Buffy rewatch for fucking years at this point. I really need to get on that.
What is it?
Jacob? Emma?
I was 8 years old and I was just like, I think she's really cool. Yeah, same.
Your funeral, buddy.
I wish we were friends. Yeah, I was a similar age and that was exactly what was happening. Oh my god.
Hey, it's us! Oh, shit.
No, Slay. Slay Queen, Slay.
I'm so sorry. Dylan, I am so sorry. I didn't know it was you. I was really scared and I thought...
It's not Mace.
Yeah, you drama queen.
Air freshener.
Okay, that's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so
That's all I
funny.
find in the van.
Stop. You know what? This game is really funny sometimes.
Dylan, you're
Well, duh. What do you think happened?
So she was in the police station this whole time?
Insane, right?
This whole time, we were having such a fun summer. We never knew.
Were you having such a fun summer? It seemed like a crazy ass
Okay.
time.
Can you fix it?
No,
Oh.
not without some parts. Specifically, a rotor arm. There's a scrapyard up the road.
So you can fix it.
Well, no promises, but if there's hope, that's where we're gonna
Wow,
find it.
she's a mechanic. Hello?
That sounds like a long shot.
Caitlin is giving such lesbian vibes. She's such lesbian vibes. I'm gonna be mean.
Got something better to do?
Not die.
Yeah, I'd like that too. By getting the hell out of here.
Okay, well, just because you're using logic to make sense doesn't mean that I'm totally into it.
What exactly are we supposed to do? I mean, the van is nice, but it's not exactly Fort Knox.
Well, there's a shelter under the lodge. You could be safe there for a while.
All right, Abby, you're with me. Good luck.
Gearhead lesbian, yeah, just like Chloe Price. I would like for Brenda Song to actually play a lesbian in something. I think that would make my actual life. Many people might argue that she doesn't have the range, but I think she has it in her. Hey pals, what did I miss? Oh my god, Charlotte. You missed that for some fucking reason. So Ryan and Laura are on a little mission now, and I'm like, the vibe is a gay man and a lesbian who hate each other, beard for beard. That's what's going on. They're trying to imply that there's some kind of romantic vibe between them, and we all hate that. We did just end up deep underground TM, and we have discovered that the Hackett family, you know, of owning Hackett's Quarry fame, of Chris Hackett being a werewolf who also runs a summer camp and endangers children because they don't know he's a werewolf, and the other guy, whatever his name is, being a sheriff, fucking awful fucking sheriff Hackett, fame. The Hackett family owned the land and exploited miners, of course. And then once the quarry went out of business, then they kind of branched into other stuff. So there's some kind of like lycanthropy metaphor maybe going on here. And those are the main things. Emma just sprayed Dylan in the face with some air freshener. That was really funny. And now Caitlin and Dylan are going off to fix the car so that they can get out of Hackett's Quarry. But of course, earlier as Jacob, I lost the rotor arm forever in the lake. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, they really enforce this hetero nonsense. A white family owned and exploited the land? That's never happened before. Oh my god, yes, also Laura's eye grew back, and we're all very sad about that. The sexy eye patch is gone, and with the sexy eye patch, with the sexy lesbian eye patch went her lesbianism, apparently, according to the game. But it's because she's turning into a werewolf. Yeah, she's got the shiny werewolf eyes now. And the bite on her arm healed.
What was that?
Travis, that's his name.
What was that?
Oh, it's nothing. We got guests downstairs. We don't want any more blood on our hands.
Oh, she's a Southern Belle. Yes, the scratch did turn
What the
her.
hell happened to you anyway?
It's a long story, Miles.
You always got a long story.
Fine.
Oh, get up. Stay down.
Okay, so Constance is their mother. The infection of lycanthropy is compet. Yeah, lycanthropy is a metaphor for compulsory heterosexuality is where we're at. So basically it's like the cannibals in The Walking Dead. What do you mean exactly? Do you mean the walkers, or do you mean the cannibals as in the humans eating people? Team building. Let's check our path. Dylan and Caitlin went to the scrapyard to find a working vehicle. Okay. The humans eating people. How is... What are you asking specifically? Whether it's like the cannibals? Laura still slays, it's true. But I really miss the lesbian eye patch. Oh, the Southern Belle mom and the two... Yes, yeah. The St. John's, yeah. From... Ooh, another tarot card. Yeah, it's kind of like that. We're gonna cook you up and eat you for dinner. The Emperor. Authority, paternity, structures designed to topple. No? Wow, slay. How the mighty may fall and their empires with them. Let them bleed, let them rip each other apart, let them rot. This intrigues me. So I think we've just found 3 cards that we're going to be able to give to the Hackett's Quarry and ask for a reading. We got the Lovers, which, boo, that has Ryan and Laura on it, I think. The Wheel of Fortune and the Emperor. Fascinated by this, and this reading of this card that they've given is actually pretty great, because that's essentially what this card is about. Like, the Emperor represents like patriarchal authority, and I mean, this is a fucking fantastic reading of that card. That's really interesting. So I'm probably gonna pick this one when we ask her for a reading. They're just trying to... Hold on. Scrolling up. The sons do the evil bidding and the mom pretends to be nice. They're trying to wrangle the werewolves in theory, but they're terrible at communication. Yeah. Yeah, we don't totally know what their vibe is yet, but in the sense that they're creepy, and it's a Southern Belle and her sons, 2 sons, then in that sense, yes. It is like the cannibals in The Walking Dead.
Jeez. Poor kid. Head this big.
Bobby.
Who's Bobby?
How's everyone doing, by the way? I'm very rude, I didn't ask. How's everyone's day going?
Okay.
Okay, so this seems to be the werewolf lair.
It's coming from a bed.
Okay, we're probably gonna find Jacob in a second. Pretty much just woke up and streamed for a bit. Yeah, I popped into Faye's stream. Faye is streaming Harmony the Fall of Reverie at the moment, which is a Don't Nod game. I don't know if some people saw that Don't Nod has been struggling this financial year. So that might be a game that you want to check out and support them, because they're such a fantastic company. I don't know how I feel about Ryan has 2 potential women as love interests and a boy. Yeah, I was sort of having bisexuality discourse earlier of like, is this character bisexual? Are they trying to tell me this character is bisexual and they're just doing it really badly? Because the only like good romance writing has been Dylan and Ryan. and they want to maybe have him have a vibe with Caitlin and Laura, but it's so forced that it's like, is this bisexuality or is this bad writing? You know? Feels like they really want him to pick a girl. Yeah. Just got back from work. I was at a different branch today and it's slayed. Oh, glad to hear it. There's a very cool older lesbian hairdresser who I want to adopt me. Oh, I want her to adopt you too. That sounds like a good day. Totally, yeah. It felt like his vibe with Dylan was a lot more natural.
Jacob.
Okay, how do I fucking kill him?
Hey, it's Ryan. Jesus, what happened to you?
Also, I know that this whole werewolf thing is happening, but
Hey. Bad idea.
but what was I saying? Sorry, I forgot now. Got distracted. Right, okay, I know this whole werewolf thing is a thing, but I would really love it if Jacob could put some clothes
in the
on.
corner of the room. I think that's how they're operated, okay? I saw this old guy, under dude from the woods. He used that.
Why are you here, Travis? You ought to be out with the others. Like I say, we've been all night long trying to keep those kids safe.
Right, supposedly they have good intentions, but they're like the biggest creeps in the world.
It's Kaylee.
Like, why do they fucking bring
She's
these
dead.
kids to these fucking summer camps?
No.
If you wanted to keep them
Or
safe...
you're bringing her in right now.
Now I know you got to screw loose in that cop head of yours. There ain't no way to kill her in her kind of condition.
Silver bullet. She's dead, Ma.
No.
Honestly, being so fucking for real, if they really cared, then they would kill Chris.
No. No.
Sorry.
No.
If this white landowning colonial fucking family really cared about hurting people, then they would just kill themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Piece of shit! Not my little Kaylee! God damn you! What did you do to her?
Exactly. Their intentions mean nothing if they're bringing kids here and locking them up.
Did you get bitten?
Yes, I feel like with Laura and Ryan they had 2 interactions and then it literally shows the lover's card, which I did not get at all before the card. Yeah, totally. So it felt forced to me, whereas with Dylan it felt natural. Yeah, totally. And it's like, this character could totally still be bisexual, but it's just that the writing is so bad. Like, if they wanted to communicate that about him and his, like, identity and his preferences, then they could have done a way better job of doing that. So, I'm sorry. Once again, bisexual representation in games has let us down. Okay, Lost and Fairy. That probably would have been my instinct anyway, so...
Laura. What have you done?
Nah, bro, let her kill the fucking werewolves, man.
Hey! Let her go!
Hey, Ma! Sit Bobby down!
Her beauty is a tiger.
What the fuck is this music?
Sure that shit doesn't bite. Her beauty.
Hey, Ma, I got a lesbian... sorry, wrong accent.
That's why
I don't know why I'm from New York all of a sudden. I got a lesbian and a gay man in the basement. Let's lock them up. What the fuck is this music? She did the right thing. She did. Nah, don't apologize. I appreciate that you really want me to succeed at murder and have been keeping it, like, generally pretty spoiler-free, so...
Welcome back. Did you miss me? Hopefully, you've brought me some more of my cards. Let's have a look, shall we?
Oh, I'm all here for him being bisexual, but it's so not giving the right option. Yeah, for
They're
sure.
lovers. There's harmony and disagreement, brought to light only by sparks of passion.
No.
Blood flows from
Ew.
the heart. You can almost taste it. And tasting it could save someone's.
Okay, I actually think I have an idea of what that could be hinting already, without
The
seeing
wheel
more.
of fortune. After all, fortune is nothing but a spinning wheel. Sometimes you have to take a chance. Karma works in mysterious ways, but it favors those who pay attention. Watch closely. Though the wheel spins, the eagle-eyed can tell where it's going to stop.
Okay. Okay.
The Emperor. Authority, paternity, stricters, designed to topple, no? How the mighty may fall, and their empires with them. Let them bleed. Let them rip each other apart. Let them rot.
Okay, I have some inklings about what these three fortunes
Details.
are implying. So before I choose one to see more about, I'm gonna give you my readings. You know, I really gotta say, I gotta say that probably one of my favorite aspects of this game is the tarot reading, because I actually think they did a really good job. And I complain so much about how I feel that, like, so much media treats tarot in, like, this really half-assed, lazy way, but this is actually really cool. I gotta say, I gotta hand it to them. I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so she said... There's harmony and disagreement brought to light only by sparks of passion. Blood flows from the heart. You can almost taste it, and tasting it could save someone's life. And the image here is of Laura drinking Ryan's blood. So, potentially, there's some kind of scenario where this is actually literal. Like, the blood is not necessarily a metaphor, but we actually have to do some kind of, like, blood drinking or bloodletting here. Maybe it's a metaphor, maybe it's like, oh, they need to hook up in order for a thing to happen, but it seems like it might just be literal, considering all of the werewolf stuff happening. The Wheel of Fortune, sometimes you have to take a chance. Karma works in mysterious ways, but favors those who pay attention. I mean, yeah, there's an implication here that, like, about taking a chance, but also specifically thinking about karma and how actions balance each other out. So it's very difficult to read this one, but I think with regards to what happens next, keeping this card in mind might be helpful. This is, I don't know, I feel like thinking about what this could pertain to would be a lot more difficult, so maybe seeing this fortune would help. The Emperor, I feel that this is a prediction about the Hacketts, and that the implication here is to let the Hacketts fucking die and fucking kill each other. Let them rot. Which is cool. I'm on board with that. In a lot of ways, this is the card in the reading that I'm enjoying the most. I think the Wheel of Fortune is the one that's feeling the most enigmatic to me. Like, it's the one that I'm struggling the most to read, so I might actually ask for her reading on the Wheel of Fortune. But just to take a second to talk more about why I really like the way that tarot is working in this game. It's like, okay, I've kind of been using the language of fortune telling and stuff like that. The thing about tarot is that, like, tarot reading is not about telling you the future. It's about communicating some kind of guidance. So usually when tarot is being read, there's the person who is requesting a reading is asking some kind of specific question, or they're asking for some kind of specific guidance, and the tarot cards are communicating or trying to communicate to you messages from God or from the universe, whatever your kind of spiritual position on interpreting that is, right? Because many tarot readers are like witches or people with different spiritual beliefs who don't necessarily believe in God in the way I do, but I think that we have like very shared beliefs on how tarot channels those messages. And so the guidance that tarot gives you can feel so difficult to interpret, but it's like tarot is not about telling you the future. It's about telling you what to pay attention to, or telling you what to keep in mind, if that makes sense. So, and there are a few different kinds of tarot readings. So you can have like a single card reading, a 3-card spread. You could have five card spreads, Celtic crosses. There's a lot. In my practice, I'm not like very good, and I haven't practiced in a long time, but I've generally done 1 and 3 card readings, and one card can give you kind of like a singular piece of advice or answer to a specific question. But 3 cards, for example, is like the 3 cards are like past, present, and future. And in response to your question or the guidance that you seek, you often have to think about it as like, what is it in the past that's kind of relevant or contextualizing this situation? Where am I in the present, and how might that shape my possible futures, and what are my possible futures, and what might lead me to them, and that's why tarot is actually like, it's not predicting your future, which is quote unquote, which is kind of the like pop culture understanding of tarot, which is really annoying, but it's kind of offering you spiritual guidance. And I think that this game is actually doing a really good job of representing that. Precisely because like the game design is that it has these like branching narratives, and the tarot cards can give you some kind of, guidance about possible futures, or what to keep in your mind, or what to listen for in the universe and within yourself in order to find the guidance that you need. But it's actually really difficult to interpret those things, and a good tarot reader can help you interpret those messages, but you're just never going to have like a clear answer. It's not telling you what your future will certainly be. It's trying to give you guidance on how to, get to the future or find the answers that you seek. But it's actually very mystical and very spiritual in that way, so you have to be open to a certain degree of like, actually I have to put in the work. And I don't know if any of this is making sense, but I think it's so well designed. Like, I actually do. I'm actually kind of shook that that's probably my favorite aspect of this game. I think they've done such a good job of conveying that. And the more of the game that I've played, obviously it's like at the beginning it was really difficult to interpret those things, because I didn't have a sense of who these characters were or what the world that they lived in was. So you're kind of starting with very little information, but then as the game has gone on, and I'm interpreting the imagery of the cards and on this deck, and interpreting like what the cards usually actually mean. So Wheel of Fortune is usually to do with kind of balance, karmic balance, and chance. They're pretty obvious from kind of the name of the card. But now, for example, with the Emperor, I'm like, oh, I feel that I can interpret what this card might be trying to tell me, because I have more information about the world and the characters in the world. And oh, it's just really cool. Sorry, that was a whole ramble about tarot, but I really like this. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna ask for her fortune on Wheel of Fortune, because this is the one that I feel that I'm struggling the most to read.
Then choose the possible future you'd like to witness. And watch carefully. Try and find some clarity in the chaos.
Wheel of Fortune. I'm committing to it. Okay.
Go. You've still got time. Be careful now. Be very careful.
Okay. I'm gonna have to watch that again, I think, Mrs. Hag of Hackett's Quarry.